So, I asked at the beginning how many of these people in the room had been in Switzerland in 2001. We got a response from about 5 or 6 people. But if you went through the years, you'd find from those 5 or 6 that they've raced in many, many races. One of the entrants here, who now can claim to be a world champion, has raced in many races as well. He raced, I believe, in 4 races, of which he never finished. And the 5th World Championship event he went to, he won it. So I guess it says something for the perseverance. So for those who this time didn't achieve the crown, or have just entered their very first World Championship event, don't be disappointed if you dropped out, or don't be disappointed if you didn't achieve what you wanted to, because in the future you might. You just have to be determined, and be determined, and be determined. And if you keep doing that, then you'll have the opportunity to perhaps one day stand on the top steps of a podium in a race such as this. But, you know, Alexandre asked me a few years ago if he could do this. I think we've seen the result of a lot of hard work. The format of this race isn't to everyone's liking, and it never was going to be the case. But I encouraged him to stay with the format. Lots of people were saying, don't do this, don't stay with this format, be more traditional, be a standard adventure race. But Alexandres and his team were very determined that there should be a race that's different, that makes people think. And right from the very start, he said the strategy of the races is the most important thing. I told lots of people that to make the cutoffs, but perhaps that wasn't quite the right thing to do. Perhaps it should have been to get the most checkpoints, because you can't win this race without getting the most checkpoints. You might make the cutoffs, but you might be stressing yourself and your team, and stressing other teams around you as well, perhaps. The secret to winning it, and everyone knows now, and some only learnt yesterday, some learnt 3 or 4 days ago, and some haven't learnt it yet, is to get the most checkpoints. And it's very simple when it comes down to that. You just race for that aim. It might mean that you miss whole stages, but and that's been some questions of me in the last 12 hours. Hey, some teams have missed stages, and how come they can beat us? They got the most checkpoints, and if they got the most checkpoints and the most bonus points and were the fastest, if it happened to be equal, then they win. So we saw, as we journeyed across Portugal, we got to see lots of different countryside. One of the highlights for me was that fantastic castle of Marvaux. That was a fantastic highlight. Many of you didn't get the chance, but we wandered around that castle, and one of the assistants from the Estonian team has got a fantastic voice, and inside that castle there's a singing chamber, or a chamber of voice, and it's absolutely stunning. So if you ever get the chance, go back to there and whisper in that chamber. You'll be very surprised. But you know, we passed through lots of different countryside. We finished on this fantastic coastline at Peniche. I took the opportunity while I was there to swim in the surf, and it was very, very strong, and makes me in awe of those guys from the Rip Curl Challenge who are out there cutting it up. I saw some of those surfers today, and you know, you have to be a strong person to be out there. Everybody has got their stories from the race. We had our own. We were the media team, 3 of us in the car, so we didn't quite make a true team, but we had another car with 2 in it. So we had 2 cars. That doesn't make a proper team either. But we had our own rally, our own race. And at times we were doing 160 or 180 kilometers an hour down a highway just to keep up on you guys. And at other times we're negotiating narrow country roads with the tops of the pylons. We could hear them only. We couldn't see them, as you found out. Racing along the top of the mountains, you can hear the whoosh of the blade, but you can't actually see them. So we also had our own race, and we thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm sorry you're a car, but I gave your rental car quite a workout. This morning we went to a dawn parade of some otters swimming. Well, it looked like otters swimming across the ocean, but it was actually all you guys, all your competitors. It was fantastic. The shots, and I'm sure we'll see some from the oily golden oil water this morning, looked absolutely stunning. The race is only organised by some professionals, but not only by the professionals, but by all the volunteers. and I'm sure Alexandra is going to thank you, but everyone who's a volunteer in the room or worked, not as a volunteer, but worked on the race, please stand up and let's everyone give them a round of applause. Volunteers, other workers, stand up. And the people who worked the hardest, the people, not the racers, they work very hard. The people who work the hardest behind the scenes are the assistants. All of the assistants should stand up now. Every assistant, stand up. Alexandra, if I'm taking your words, I'm sorry. Thanks, the last words. To the racers, well done. And thanks to the people who supported Alexandra in this effort, the two gentlemen at the table and all the other communities as we passed through. You didn't have time to enjoy them quite as much as we did. I'm laden, I need another bag to go home. Had such fantastic support. I've got oil, honey, bottles of wine, postcards, you name it. Every time we stopped, someone gave us something. So the support that all the communities gave to us and the media team and you guys to be able to race through the countryside is absolutely fantastic. So I hope you all enjoyed your trip to Portugal. I certainly have enjoyed coming here over 3 years, and congratulations to Alexandra and all the team and to all you guys out there racing.